Okay, welcome Multnomah Village, week 93, Justice for Qadira, and it is April 12th today, which marks 16 years since the burning and torture of our daughter. We are going to put a call out to everybody to make this National Kids Cannot Consent Day, because we need to start having a global discussion, but we can start here nationally. But we need to start having a conversation about the age of majority and the fact that there are certain things that kids cannot consent to, because
kids can't consent to anything because they're kids.
Right, and adults are supposed to be taking care of them. And that's just not happening. And I can tell everybody, I've been on Twitter quite a bit in the last 6 weeks, because we just got on Twitter, and there is so much arguing about who the problem is. And I just want to be clear, I think we can all see that heterosexuals, homosexuals, and trans people all engage in pedophilia. There is no one group that is immune from this affliction. The adults on this planet need to start controlling themselves, and that's in every single country. So I really hope that the village is going to help us kick this off. Next year, I'd like to see signs in all your windows that say kids cannot consent, and I'll make them myself. Because the adults on this planet need to start taking some responsibility for their actions towards children. Period, point blank. We all need to be doing it. There is so much child abuse. It's burning my eyeballs, and it burns my eyeballs to see people walking past this protest and ignoring this protest because they think for some reason this behavior was okay. This behavior was absolutely 100% not okay, and Qadira absolutely deserves justice, and we promised her justice, and we will be out here until she gets justice, until there is justice for all the children on this planet who are being abused by irresponsible adults. And again, I call out people in the heterosexual community, the homosexual community, and the trans community. None of you, nobody is doing it right. Nobody is special. All this under 18 stuff that kids are being roped into right now, all this inappropriate behavior, it needs to stop, because kids literally cannot consent, and it is the pathway to hell. Because look at what we're building here, a gigantic hellhole, because all these people are being abused by trusted adults. So I'm going to give it to my husband, because something actually happened to him this morning that was very, very, very upsetting, and I think it just speaks to everything that we have going on right now, not just in this city, but on this planet. So take it away, honey.
Folks, I'm just going to tell you a little story, and there will be a moral to the story, okay? This morning, I went to the dentist, and I was told by the dentist that I had a cavity. Now, I've never had a cavity before in my life, not in my 44 years, okay, of being alive on this planet have I ever had a cavity.
And I can vouch for that.
But the dentist today, first of all, the last appointment I went to, the dentist told me that my teeth were perfect. But then he told me that a filling had come out of my mouth. Now, I don't know why this didn't immediately strike me as odd, because I've never had a filling, because I've never had a cavity. But the dentist told me, they have to replace a filling that looks like it fell out of my mouth. So I didn't really question it very much. I just set up the appointment, and this morning I went to the dentist to get that filling replaced, and not really thinking about it, okay, because it was the dentist that was telling me this. I thought about it actually this morning, right as I was about to have the procedure done. And I was thinking, I wanted the dentist to show me what was about to be done. I wanted the dentist to show me, because the dentist this morning told me I had a cavity, which the other dentist didn't tell me that I had a cavity. But she did, and I said, well, can you show it to me on the x-ray? And she pulled up the x-ray, and there was There was nothing on the x-ray. But she proceeded to tell me that I couldn't see the cavity because it was on the inside of my tooth. Now, folks, there is something wrong with that because, yes, you can see a cavity on an x-ray. It shows up as a dark spot. What she showed me was a perfectly healthy tooth, okay? But she continued to tell me that, she needed to remove this cavity, which I've never had before, and she needed to put a filling in there. So I was like, okay, well, can you show it to me using a mirror? And she was like, well, it's kind of hard to show you. I'd have to, it's way in the back of your mouth. I can't really show it to you. So she made it sound like it was inconvenient to show me this cavity that I allegedly had in my mouth. So, I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I guess, because it was the dentist telling me this, right? As a person in a white coat, and this was a medical authority. So I thought to myself, well, I guess maybe if I had the cavity, she was telling me that, more rot was going to be coming into my tooth if I didn't have the cavity filled. So I let them fill the cavity. This lady proceeded to drill a hole in my tooth that had never existed there before. And she put some composite alloy substance in my mouth, which I had never had before. Now, I thought that was strange, and I went home and I checked with my wife, which, she's known me for a very long time.
We've been together for 28 years, so...
Okay. She knows that I've never had a cavity before.
It's actually one thing that really, kind of makes me mad about him because I have lots of cavities. I have ever since I was a kid. I wasn't born with a good set of teeth like my husband. So at first when he came home and told me about this, I kind of blew him off. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, no, you definitely have never had a cavity. So in fact, right after this, he's going to be calling the dentist and we're going to be having a little chit chat.
But I'm bringing up the story to you because lots of times we trust medical professionals. We should be able to trust them.
And we trust authorities, people who say they are authorities.
Or people who are telling us what to do or what we need in order to keep us safe, okay, and healthy. That's what we believe. Now, this night, when our daughter was abused, and when we took her to the hospital, just like I trusted the medical professionals this morning, we trusted these people with the health of our daughter, the health and safety, and they lied to us.
They straight up lied to us, and they sent us home to do complicated bandage changes on a child that was actually dying. We really, 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 really do not know, besides for the grace of God, via the blood of Jesus Christ, why our daughter is even alive right now. It's incredible that she gets up every single day, and the authorities here know that. And this neighborhood needs to start acknowledging that.
The doctors at OHSU and at Providence, St. Vincent, they won't talk to us because they know what they did.
This was a mortal injury on an 8-year-old, 59-pound child. She lives, like I said, via the grace of God, and we acknowledge that. So when we get out here, we do mean business because this story absolutely 100% needs to be told, and it should be told everywhere. It's incredible that we have been blessed for 16 years with our daughter's life because it is a true blessing. Had she died that night or in the following days, this story would have never unfolded. And I think that's important for everybody to acknowledge because there have been a lot of people after her.
In the pursuit of trying to figure out what actually happened to our daughter, we did uncover blood tests that showed that she had sepsis. Okay, that she was actually dying. Okay, that she was going into organ failure, and 4 years later, after she wasn't treated by the hospitals at all, she did eventually go into organ failure.
Right, so the evidence actually exists on paper that she was in fact dying. She just didn't drop as quickly as they thought she would. But had we not taken her to Emmanuel, had we not been pursuing this case and trying to figure out what happened, she would not be with us, because we do believe that her doctors up at OHSU, they were just waiting for her to die. And you can see that actually in her medical records, because she was treated at OHSU for about 4 years after the burning. You can see they never gave her any care.
They never actually treated her. This is on record.
They
never gave her any treatment. They never stabilized her. They didn't do anything for her.
So there's a crime scene going on up at OHSU, and I have a lot of concerns, because they are doing these surgeries on minors for gender care, and it's not okay. Kids cannot consent. So I don't have a problem with people getting any kind of surgery as an adult, but I'm sorry, kids cannot consent. So you have all these adults right now pushing their desires onto kids and not waiting for a child to come of appropriate age to make that decision themselves. I think where we're seeing the worst case right now is Jazz Jennings. I mean, the whole world let that happen. That child has been exploited and manipulated their entire life, and it's very, 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 very sad to watch. This needs to stop. We all need to make a personal decision to say that kids cannot consent, because this is something that needs to go global, because we've got this problem in every country, this human trafficking, this sex trafficking. It absolutely 100% has to stop. Yes, we're
It's kind of hard because we've been here for a while. We've been talking about.
Here, you want to hand that out? Thank you.
Talking about the abuse of our daughter for a long
We're also on Twitter too. So, what we're hoping is that Portland will really start to grasp this idea, and we can start cleaning up some of these messes just right here. I understand that there are people out there who just want their kids to be able to do whatever they want, and they want to do whatever they want with other people's kids, but that is not okay. What we have right now is a planet absolutely just going rogue, because, millions of children are being abused, under the authority of trusted adults. Whether those are adults in their public institutions or it's happening at home. And I think that we really need to revisit this concept, and it's something that here at Justice for Qadira we're going to go after really hard, because it's causing a lot of chaos. People are getting really angry at the fact that kids are being attacked, and I think that it's just important that we draw an actual line in the sand, and we're going to draw that one right here, right now. We all need to stand up for this. Every single person here, because I know there's a lot of people here who have been hurt by trusted adults, and we need for you to start telling your stories, and we need for you to start standing up for the health and safety of the children around you, because our planet, we're not going to be able to create a better place if we don't start producing some healthier adults. And all this child abuse has to stop. I think that the fact that we've been out here for over 2 years now is very telling about where the consciousness of humanity is in terms of, do we care about kids or not? I think right now the reality is we don't care about kids collectively. That's a collective decision. That's why we have a $150 billion sex trafficking industry, which people they constantly gravitate towards to make money. And that's what happened to my husband this morning. I'm sure the dentist wanted to make a little extra money. So why not just lie to the guy on the table in order to make some money? So that is what's going on with doctors right now. And that's why children consenting to procedures, such as getting their breasts cut off and these pills and all of this stuff, it has to stop. Again, I think that doing something at 18, that is your choice. You're a grown-up, especially if you're out of your parents' house and you're supporting yourself. But there has to be a real line in the sand end here, because otherwise we're not going to be able to stop this stuff. Over in the UK, they just voted to have, put more drag queens in the school, which I don't have a problem with drag queens. Just keep it 18 and over. Drag is a sexually charged adult activity, okay, art form. And it's fine. There's a lot of things that are fine if you draw a line in the sand and you say something is something for kids and something is for adults.
Brooke, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
It's hard for me. I have ADD, so it's really hard.
Anyway,
sign our petition, please.
yes, please. Thank you for stopping. Sorry, sometimes it's hard when people are having conversations and we're trying to talk, but we always appreciate people that stop. So, this is something we need to go after hard, and this is going to be a personal decision for you, but this is something we need to push into the media. Kids cannot consent, and I think we'd have a better world if we just could start agreeing to that. I'd like to see the entire adult population agree to that. We just need to do better for the kids so we can set them up to make good choices as adults. And all this child abuse and all this stuff, I don't care what people want to wear and stuff like that, but you can't be carving up a child's body, okay? You just can't do it. You can't be meddling. People come in the way they come in, and when they're 18, they can make choices. You want to be a trans man or a trans woman? Fine. You want to be gay? Fine. 18. Let's start saying to ourselves we're going to make those concrete decisions at 18, and let's stop trying to mix the kids in with what the adults are doing. We do it for alcohol. We do it for driving. There's a lot of things that we recognize are not for kids. We don't make them pay the mortgage. You know what I'm saying? We're not making them pay any bills. So I don't know why we'd be encouraging them to make, decisions that are going to affect them for the rest of their life. This has to stop.
No, here's the thing, though, folks. They're not actually making those decisions. We, as adults, are making those decisions for them because they can't consent, okay? They don't understand what it is that we are doing to them.
Right, and so, we've dealt with a lot of naysayers and people who have attacked our family, essentially saying that, our daughter should have known better. No, the 8-year-old doesn't know better. The adults that were watching the 8-year-old should have known better, and they shouldn't have been doing inappropriate things with our child or their child or any child. And that should not be allowed or condoned by anybody, but we've watched a lot of people condone it. And I'm going to say this. As long as this community has condoned it, this community also has the opportunity to stop condoning it. So again, April 12th, National Kids Cannot Consent Day, because every adult on the planet needs to own up to all this just horrific, eye-bleeding abuse that is happening to children. And I know a lot of you adults out there know exactly what I'm talking about because you've been abused by a parent, by a doctor, by an adult of some kind. And when you abuse a child, sometimes the child, because they don't know what happened to them, they go out and abuse other children. So we have to stop this, and we have to make a conscious decision to stop it. It is the most pressing problem on the planet today.
Okay, folks, my wife is she's true in the fact that abused children, they may internalize the abuse, especially if it's mishandled or inappropriately dealt with. Okay, and then they become the abuser.
Yeah, if nobody cares, that's a serious problem. It's something that happened with our daughter, but thank God we were there to care. Because I tell you what, nobody else did. Nobody. The night when after our daughter was burned, we didn't even get a card or a meal or no sympathy. It was no sympathy. Okay? It was just, 10,000 lashes over and over again, up until this day where we still are asking for an investigation and an apology. And there's a lot of abused children out there that have suffered the same fate. So we know our daughter is not alone. But it's something we need to start talking about nationally. And the conservatives and the liberals, they're all just a bunch of liars. They just want their money. That's all they want is their money, money, money. everybody fight. Everybody's trying to act like one certain group is the problem. I see the straight people saying that it's the gay and the trans people. I see the gay people saying it's the trans people. I see trans people now saying they want to erase the gay people. It never ends. But I'll tell you right now, nobody is pure. All these groups are engaging in this behavior. Pedophilia is rampant because it's just allowed everywhere. And when it happens, nobody gives a crap, as you can see. Our daughter was a victim of a male and female pedophile, not a trans person, but trans people do offend, gay people do offend. But this problem is literally everywhere because of how it's condoned. Todd and Amy, they didn't even get a slap on the wrist.
They didn't even get told that what they did was wrong.
No, we were the ones that were told what we did was wrong, which was going to the hospital, which was talking about about this, which is, everything we've done to fight this, we've been told it's wrong. So I know what people who are fighting for abused children are up against, and I know what abused children are up against. And this is not just an American problem. This is a global issue, and our leaders aren't talking about it because they're all pedophiles. That's what rich people do.
Folks, that's a $150 billion a year industry.
They're going to protect that with their lives.
$150 billion, and that's human trafficking. That is buying and selling human beings. Lots of children.
Lots and lots of children.
How do you think that is going on this planet? There are a lot of irresponsible adults who are running our society, who are allowing this, and us as adults here, global human citizens, are also allowing it.
Women, children, and young boys are most at risk for human trafficking, obviously, because they're the ones that can least defend themselves. So we need to be talking about this loud. We need to be talking about this openly, brazenly, and we need to be holding one another accountable, because that is what is dragging us all to hell.
Folks,
is all this defiling of the children and killing of the children. We're running a hellhole here, and it's got to stop.
Folks, we're just talking about being responsible, okay? That should be the crux of having a civilization, is being responsible with what really matters. And the only thing that actually matters is the care of people.
That's right.
That is the only thing that should actually matter. That's the only thing we should be basing our decisions and our actions on, is the care of people. But that is not what is going on here. What is going on here in society today is the care of money.
It's money.
That's all.
It's money worship. And I want to talk about money worship, because there's a big difference between somebody who uses money and somebody who worships money. So a money worshiper is somebody who is going to have a bank account that is filled with obscene amounts of cash. So the people you see on the media, they are money worshipers. They will do anything to get money. They will hurt anybody to get money. They do not care. Everything they do is to get money. Obscene amounts of money that they will never use, which is so frustrating to watch.
And unfortunately, folks, these are the people who are actually running your society, okay?
That's right. They're not trying to work and make money to take care of themselves and their families. They're just trying to get money because it's actually what they worship, so they need to get lots and lots and lots and lots of it.
And they love the control, folks.
And
they love the ability to control you.
And it causes a serious problem. It's a mental health problem, because people who hoard lots and lots of money, what happens is, because they have access to everything they could ever want, listen up here, they lose their highs and their lows. So terrorizing children becomes something they have to do to feel alive, essentially. So we need to stop this, and we need to call these wealthy people out, and you can find them very easily. They're all over your television set.
So
those are the real sickos right now. The people we see on TV.
We need to start questioning the foundation of our society, because if you cannot protect the children, of your society, you are not running a society. Okay? We don't have a civilization here because we do not have the ability to protect the most vulnerable among us.
And we're not even trying right now. I don't see any real efforts being made. The conservatives claim to be pro-life, but you see how they're ignoring me and my husband?
They're just pro-money.
Yeah, they're pro-money. They're pro-money just like the liberals are. Everybody wants their money. Nobody wants to talk about all this abuse of children that is rampant on this planet. That is totally and completely against universal law, by the way. That's why planet Earth is becoming a hellhole. You cannot bleed children out and rape and kill and steal children and expect that, oh, you're going to live in some wonderful place. There's an age of majority for a reason. Kids cannot consent. Those are the rules. Anybody defiling a child, well, you're going to find out. Even if you don't get caught here, trust me, there's nothing good in store for you. You will pay for that. It's not okay.
Folks, we are quarantined on this planet, actually, and there's a reason for that. Because we are not being a responsible race of beings, okay? We are not just focused on caring for life on this planet, which is all we should be doing. We should, by now, 2,000 years after a man who came to the planet.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, who came to the planet to tell us what we needed to be doing here, and supposedly a lot of people listen to this guy, but not enough people listen to him.
Well, I see a lot of the Christians are completely involved in child abuse. I mean, like I said, it's rampant. It's throughout all the religions. We've been up here calling for Pastor Matt Hennessy to step down because he's a pedophile. He raped his family member for about 4 years, but he's a police liaison here in Portland, so you can see why we have problems. But also something that's been all over Twitter is the Dalai Lama was sucking face with some kid on the TV the other day. I mean, these people are really, really sick, and they need to be called out for it. All of them. I don't know that there's one wealthy person that isn't engaged in pedophilia. I really don't. I'm talking about the really rich ones. I'm not talking about people who worked hard and are just living good lives. I'm talking about people who are obscene in their desires and wants. And you can tell when somebody's being obscene by the way they live, okay?
And unfortunately, folks, for some reason, diddling children is that's a status
symbol.
Yeah, that's a status symbol.
It's like, oh, you have so much money, you can buy and sell kids, and that's what they all get into. I mean, I don't really think there's one among them that is not raping, stealing, and killing kids, because why wouldn't you want to be invested in a $150 billion industry? But I'm telling you, that industry needs to come to an end, or this whole place is going to come to an end, because you cannot just have this type of filth growing. I mean, because all you have here is a hellhole. You can't send people here anymore if this place is going to be a hellhole and everybody's just going to be running around hurting kids and thinking it's okay.
So it is important for us to begin to question the foundation of our society, okay? Because really the foundation of our society should be based on caring for people. Why is that not the foundation? How did we get convinced that not caring for people is the main thing that we should be doing on this planet?
Well, I think the reason we've become convinced is because everybody wants to control somebody. Everybody wants to erase somebody. And I just want to give everybody a tip. This is some free advice. Life is a free will exercise, okay? So we are supposed to be out there making choices, and there are infinite choices. I don't think God judges your choices, but I think there are consequences to choices. So you can end up going down some really dark roads and thinking God did something to you when you really just did something to yourself by making poor choices. Todd and Amy and everybody that helped them cover up this crime, they made some poor choices, because as you can see, me and my husband have chosen to go against the grain and fight this, because we refuse to go with this sick groupthink that has taken over this entire planet, that says that kids can consent. Kids cannot consent. So I hope all these evil doctors and evil pedophiles, I hope you about it. It is not okay. You are not getting away with anything, and I suggest you stop what you're doing and think about it, because you will pay. You will definitely pay. And everybody here right now is paying because we are allowing this idea to permeate our consciousness. Okay, and it's all over the world. I'm seeing it all over the world, even in countries that don't allow trans or homosexuality to be going on. I'm sorry, but you look over in the Muslim countries, you look over in Russia, child abuse, child abuse, child abuse. It's everywhere. Okay, so every group is doing it, and every group needs to stop. Okay, nobody is special here. We all need to make personal choices to treat people like they matter, to treat the life on this planet like it matters, so we can all have a better experience. And me and my husband are asking you to join us in that thought.
Folks, we need to be responsible people. Okay, I know we haven't been responsible in the past, but as my wife stated, this is a free will exercise, and you can make any decision that you want to make. There is no agreement on this planet, okay, that is not negotiable.
That's
so
right.
Every single decision that you make, folks, you have the will to control that.
And you can always choose to change.
Not to hurt children, okay?
That's right. You can always choose to change.
Choose to question the foundation of our society. Okay, that's all money is. Money is an agreement that we've made. But when it's being used irrationally and irresponsibly, it is our duty to question it and ask ourselves why we are engaging in this practice when it is not helping us to take care of one another.
We need to start openly questioning this stuff. We need to start openly questioning, why it's okay for these wealthy elites to be they are fueling all this hate with the media. And you see that because, we're down here. We've been out here for almost 2.5 years, and we can't even get a local article. So shame on the media. Really, seriously, shame. Because what they want is they want the hate and the violence. And I see it. Okay, I'm out there talking to people all day long. I get on social media. I try to engage with people. Me and my husband, we get out in the community and we engage with people. And I'm telling you right now, the hate and the anger and the rage is boiling over. There's some really simple things we can do to make sure we can put that back in the box. But we're going to have to work together. And one main thing right now is kids cannot consent. Period. So I'm sorry, drag queens, get out of the schools and get back to the bars. And no more of these surgeries. I call on OHSU to shut down that gender clinic. At least not be giving pills and surgery to kids. I mean, if you want to see kids and counsel them and help them till they're 18, till they can make an adult decision, I think that's great. But don't hurt them. Okay, before they, don't do something to them that they cannot understand. Okay, because that's rape. That is what rape is.
You are violating
You are violating somebody, and it's not your right. So, again, somebody has to be an adult to be able to consent